Hi, welcome to Corky's Tea Time. If you've noticed, I have titled this video Greek Mythology and Me. And I will explain to you how this applies to my story. Okay? Prometheus stole fire from Zeus and returned it to humanity. In eternal punishment, Prometheus is chained to a rock, and every day an eagle came and ate at his liver. Every night his liver would regenerate. You will see how that will be applying to my story, okay? Now from this story on, this part here on, I want you to think of that poem, Footprints in the Sand. Because he is with me. He has always been with me. In 2007, menopause arrived. I hemorrhaged. I got home from work, got cleaned up, and it completely stopped. 2012, middle of the night, I woke up to a very swollen, rock-hard belly, and you could hear fluids sloshing around in there. We rushed to the emergency room in the next town over because it was supposed to have a really good hospital. We got there, they took me to a room, and a gentleman came in with a clipboard, and he kept asking me over and over and over what street drugs I was doing. I said, I don't do street drugs. I work in the medical field, and I get random drug testing. No way was I ever going to do drugs. I would lose my job. I could lose my license. It just would be a bad thing all the way around, and it would affect your health. So no, I didn't do it, you know. But they didn't believe me, and that's what they kept asking me. And I told my husband, I said, just take me home. Let's go back to bed. We got home, went back to bed. I lay down and I prayed to God. I said, whatever this is, please let it rear its ugly head. I woke up in the morning and it was gone. I was pain-free. The swelling was gone. My stomach was back down to normal. Thank goodness. About 3 days later, I went ahead and I looked in the mirror and I said, oh, I look yellow. Oh, it's probably just the lighting in here or whatever. Went on with my day. The next day, about the same time, I'm looking in the mirror again, and I was like, I really look yellow. I came out in the living room, and I said to my husband, I said, how do I look to you? He goes, the same as you do every day. I said, come out on the porch with me in the natural lighting, and we got out there, and I said to him, I said, do I look yellow to you? And he got really close and was looking at me, and he goes, yes, you look yellow. So I went in the house and packed my suitcase because I knew when I got to the emergency room being yellow, they were going to keep me because obviously something's wrong. And so we got to the hospital and they went ahead and did all the lab work. They came in and told me I was an acute liver failure. So I went ahead and was admitted to the hospital for a week. Okay. And that was in 2012. That night I went to the emergency room with the rock hard swollen belly. That is called a cities. It is what I had, and I should have been receiving medical treatment immediately, and what they should have done is drained the fluid out of my stomach because I was in liver failure. That was the sign my body was giving me. Okay. So we flip the page. Okay. I was in the hospital for a week. I was signed a GI. Okay. The type of doctor. He gave me my diagnosis and a prescription for a steroid. I felt fine though. That was the tricky thing about it, because you see how the liver regenerates. Okay. That is it, you know. That is how the liver is, you know. It can regenerate itself. I fired him because it was time for me to take immune suppressing drugs. He wants me to sign a consent form that I would not hold him or the pharmaceutical company responsible. The immune suppressing drugs that I would take is what is normally given for patients with AIH, autoimmune hepatitis. Hepatitis is a generic medical term for inflammation, okay? And so when it came time to take the immune suppressing drugs, he gave me a consent form to sign, and I said, I will never, ever relieve you or a pharmaceutical company, especially relieve the pharmaceutical company from responsibility, because those medications can cause cancer, okay? And so if you're going to give me the drug, just give me the drug, the medication, whatever you want to call it, and let's get on, okay? Don't have me put you and everybody else off the hook. No, I'm not a dummy. So I went to a hepatologist. A hepatologist specializes in the liver and liver diseases. So I was seeing her. We got this under control. And then one day, I had to go to see another doctor. And I will tell you what happened was 2013 to 2014, my hands began to lose strength. Okay? I'm dropping papers, just walking along. All of a sudden the papers were falling out of my hand. I had noticed. Just randomly would drop things here and there. Not frequently, but enough to notice it, you know. And I would say there's no reason in the world why I should have dropped that paper. Okay? And it just became so weak, and it was unknown why. So 2013 to 2014, I had to start adjusting how to learn to live with weakness in the hands. 2015, I woke up one day and there was these red dots all over my legs. And I just thought, you know, what did I walk through now? Did I walk through some grass and got some little bugs, you know? I go to the doctor's and I show her these spots on my legs. She knew what they were because she had them too. It's called Petechia, okay? And the diagnosis was small blood vessel vasculitis. Okay, that was in 2015. 2016, I had a pulmonary embolism. My doctor was so shocked that I had survived. 2017, I had tubes put in my ears to drain fluids. I was suffering from vertigo so bad, and they believe it was caused all by this inflammation in my body. Okay, so 2017, 2015, the Petechia, 2016, pulmonary embolism, 2017, tubes put in ears. 2018, I went into kidney failure. I have lupus nephritis, lupus in my kidneys, okay? 2019, I had cataract surgery, both eyes. Side effect from taking steroids long term. They told me it was early onset cataracts from taking steroids long term. Okay, now we're at 2020, locked in the house due to USA has COVID. 2021, I got COVID. 2022, COVID ended for me. Excuse the coughing. COVID for me ended in March of 2022. I got it in December, and because I'm immune compromised, it lasted until March 2022. Now the thing is, with having autoimmune illnesses, the medications and everything, there are so many side effects that we have to put up with. There's fatigue. I now have tremors in my hands, okay? And as you can see, when I hold a piece of paper, okay, that's the right hand, not doing too bad. And here's the left hand, and it really gets going at it. And the tremors have spread. and I have them in my face. I can feel it in my mouth and in my jaw and the right side of my body, my legs, you know. It's just one of those things, you know. Plus, being with having these tremors and the fatigue, and just the world has changed for me. Okay, I now have to walk with a cane. Some days when it's really bad, I'm walking with a walker. And those devices do help. And the thing is, too, I wanted to say, nobody could ever hurt me. The only people that have the power to ever hurt me are the people that are the closest to me in my heart. These are the only people that have the power to hurt me. So if anybody ever left a nasty message on my YouTube channel, you're too late. Damage is done, okay? I did this damage to myself because this is all genetics. No matter how much I want to get rid of this autoimmune illness, I can't. It's mine. It's all mine. I belong to a very special elite class of people, okay? And there are others out there. This is a rare disease, but there are others, and we do connect and we do support each other. There is the American Liver Foundation. I connected with them because after my diagnosis, when I was released from the hospital, I sat at my kitchen table with a cup of coffee, and I said to myself, "Self, what are you going to do? You can't go through this alone. You need help. You need support. You need other people. You need information, you know. You want to know what is right, what is wrong, what to do, what not to do." So I went ahead and went online to the American Liver Foundation. I typed in my new diagnosis, and right away, immediately, somebody responded. That person saved me. I was in emotional distress. They calmed me down, and they said they had just received their diagnosis too. She was just a few months ahead of me. So her and I both are approaching our 10-year anniversary of our diagnosis. And so we have a couple of little theme songs that we go with. If you're happy and you know it, shake your pills. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, shake your pills. The other one that we have, there's a gentleman on YouTube, and his name is Z Dog, the letter Z, D-O-G-G, and he sings this song, "I Have Friends with Low Platelets." That is one of the wonderful, miraculous things that happens to us too when we have this illness. We get low platelets. You don't know how many times they've come in and they've told me that I was really low, and they go, they ask this certain question about your religion. And then they know how to say, do you have a problem with having anybody else's blood? I tried to shop with inside my own family first. No matches. So they would have to go outside the family to get me some blood. I told them, I said, could we please this time just wait and see, let's get me back up, get me back to strength, and let's see if my body can heal itself. I did all the right things, and it did. It worked. I didn't have to get a transfusion. Lucky, you know. The other thing that comes with this is all the minerals and vitamins that your body gets low on. Vitamin B12, vitamin C, vitamin D. Oh, there's so many out there, just so many to list that, you know, we have a list. I am on steroids still. I probably will be the rest of my life. And one of the fun things about steroids, you get what they call moon face, where your cheeks really round out. I've looking a lot slimmer. Mine have really come down a lot. Because the higher the dose, the bigger the moon face. Then the back of your neck, you get what's called the buffalo hump. And then your belly, you get what's called the Buddha belly. So there's those fun highlights of taking a steroid. I am on immune suppressing drugs that can cause cancer. But hey, that's just the chance you have to take, you know. Now these medications do not stop the disease, okay? They do not stop the progression of the disease. They just slow it down. It just buys you time. We could have a liver transplant, but we will still have the disease, and the new liver will slowly get damaged too, and you still have the illness. The illness doesn't go away because it's genetic. You are genetically predisposed at getting this illness. And what's really funny is somewhere in my list of mayhem in here, okay, between 2012 and 2019, I also had to do chemo, because chemo is what they had to use to quiet my immune system down. That's what happens with autoimmune illnesses, is your immune system just goes through the roof. And it says there's an enemy in here and we have to go after that enemy. We have to find, oh, there it is, it's the liver. Let's go get the liver. I tell you what else is scary. To have a liver biopsy and a kidney biopsy. I had to have both. They're a scary thing. They're risky. But that's what you got to do to find out what's going on. And that's how I received my diagnosis. And then I told my doctor, I said, how many more illnesses I'm going to get? I'm up to 5. I said, my dance card is full. I figured a dance card is something that you can hold in one hand. He says to me, autoimmune illness, having one, is like leaving the front door open and the crows just keep coming in. So that's how he analyzed it, you know. And there's a lot to learn once you receive this diagnosis. There's a lot of learning, a lot of lab work. It just doesn't stop. It's a revolving door. Just and around and around and around. And then when you get to a point of stability, then you go see the doctor once a month. Then you see the doctor once every 3 months. If you're doing really good, you go once every 6 months. They never let you go once a year. It's a minimum of once every 6 months. So it's just something that keeps you going, you know. And, you know, I just don't ever wish this on anybody, you know. And to know that you're genetically predisposed at getting an illness like this is a scary thing. Well, once again, I'm going to go ahead and go for now. And I just would like for you to go ahead and look at that video, Z-Dog. I have friends with low platelets. You got to have a strong stomach, though, when you watch the video. It's funny, okay? And it's a funny video. If you do like this video, please click like and subscribe. And we will have more chats. Right now, I'm going to head out to the garden and go water it. I thank you for your time. Goodbye. Have a great day.